Hey, Shalom Israel. First off, I would like to say, Call Halal, Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shah Ba'Hashem, Rakak. I would like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me. Also, would like to say peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, the Akim, that's pushing this word in all sincerity and faith throughout the four corners of the earth. For the few sisters that watch and sincerely believe, Shalom to you as well. Just back in the spirit of the Most High through his son, Yahweh Shah, another opportunity just to preach the word and just testify of Yahweh Shah and the prophecies and everything written within the Holy Scriptures and how it pertains to the way things are playing out at this very moment, man. It's a beautiful time. Pretty much the king of Babylon, Donald J. Trump, he has Congress approved the stimulus package, the greatest or the hugest stimulus package in American history, which is not going to even be enough to really solve just a fraction of the different issues that needs to be addressed amongst the people. But the point being made, it's not going to be a dumbass stimulus package that's going to heal Great Babylon, which we know through the spirit of prophecy is America, So I'm going to just speak on some things concerning just the fiat currency system, which this stimulus package that's just going to completely derail and bring the collapse of the petrodollar, But without further ado, I'm going to just hit some scriptures and just make some points, Lord willing, this to edify. I'll start off here in Jeremiah 51, and I'll go right to the point in verse 8. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. And we know prophetically through the scriptures that the virgin daughter of Babylon is talking about America. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. And that's what's happening right now. Of course, we're just going through those contractions. We're going into the beginning of sorrows. There's much more on the way before the epic collapse and destruction of Great Babylon. But those birth pains are starting to set into this place. It says, how for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. So that's what the people are doing, man. Everyone's pretty much on house arrest and shut in mode. All of the different so-called rights and civil liberties that these people have enjoyed to play out whatever wicked lifestyles they want to do in America. A lot of those things have been taken away as far as entertainment purposes, the ability to go to a movie, the ability to go to a bar, the ability to go to a game, the ability to go to the club, so on and so forth. All of that haughtiness and that mirth has been completely stripped away from these people, man, to where you're just going to have to sit in the four corners of your home and just deal with reality. You're going to get a big tablespoon dose of reality, and you're going to have to assess the real situations that's going on. And a lot of these people, they're going to be plugged away from this virtual reality, from all of this social media madness, man. And they're going to have to really just dive into what's going on in front of them, man. And the point being made, these people would love to heal Babylon. That's why a lot of these people, just 2/3 of Jake that's bugged out, that don't have this truth, and just the simple among the different nations in general, they think that Donald J. Trump is looking out for their best interests. Oh, okay. Well, at least it's something, and a lot of people are really not looking at the ramifications of how that stimulus package is going to affect the overall economy and just the dollar itself. We're going to go into a super hyperdrive mode inflation, to where the cost of basic things that you need to survive, the prices are going to go up tremendously, man, to a point you're not going to be able to survive. And that's what's going to bring on the different things that the prophecy talks about in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. Sedition among men, people killing each other with the sword, going into each other's house for the lack of bread in the great famine. We're going into a time of famine. It's only a matter of time, too. Once those prices of oil, change, because everything's relatively cool as far as the price of oil right now is cheap. You can get gas at the pump cheap. But the thing is, people can't go anywhere anyway. But the point's being made, it ain't going to be no hill in Babylon. People, they want to come up with all different ideas. Right now, these people are right where the elites want them, just dependent on the government to just look after their well-being, man. They're compliant. They're willing to comply with whatever the government suggests at this point, man. Just leading us quicker and quicker till eventually, cashless society, and then using blockchain and digital currency, and then ultimately the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. So people want to heal this place. When it says in the 8th verse, take balm, that means that's an healing agent. But that stimulus package, that's not the healing agent. That's not even a slight bandage over a wound, man. It says, if so be, she may be healed. So the point being made, America, Great Babylon, is not going to be healed. And this stimulus package is just sending America quicker to death. It's just sending this economy in a more downward spiral, and just pretty much bringing forth the beginning of the death of the dollar, which the dollar's been diminishing for years since they took away the gold standard, to where a dollar, which is a unit of measure, it had to be backed by silver or gold. But the dollar hasn't been backed by silver and gold for, I believe, I have to look it up, but probably going on at least like 60 to 70 something odd years. I believe in the 30s, that's when they took away the gold standard from behind the dollar. But the point being made, this whole fiat currency system, where the dollar's not backed by anything, but oil has always kept it propped up. That's going to bring super hyperinflation. Like when you go and study in Germany, the Weimar Republic, I know the elders, they used to do videos and posts to where a man would have like a wheelbarrow just full of those paper notes just to go buy a loaf of bread. And that seems extreme now, but that's where we're getting to, man, because the U.S. Treasury, they're pretty much just printing money out of thin air, And we understand now, these people are going to really start to understand now that true substance in the earth, that's the real riches, having cattle, a source of food to eat, just land to where you have things within the land that grow to help you build things, and, where you can just basically live off the land. People are going to see that whatever's in your bank account, whatever paper, dollars and stacks, because, Jake like to brag about stacks and bands, whatever's in that bag, that's not going to be able to deliver you from what's to come, man. But I'm going to go to matter of fact, I'm going to keep reading. I'm tripping. Jeremiah 51:9. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. So that's the points I was going into, man. Especially Jake, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you would just pull yourself up by the bootstraps and you would try to heal America, man. You would go on a Heal the World, Heal America campaign when the history and the legacy of this place has been nothing but oppression. And just you've been a byword, a proverb, and an astonishment amongst all these different people, man. America has just made you just a super slave, a professional slave, But that's what our people would want, man. Because they, like the scripture says, our people trust in oppression. But it ain't gonna be no healing in America, man. The Lord, even if things kind of go back to so-called normal, things are not gonna be like they were before this point. Everyone's gonna have to get acquainted with the so-called new normal, But just going into how I was talking about the money system, fiat currency, not backed by anything. That's just totally against the ways of the Heavenly Father. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. I ain't brought this out in a while. This is Proverbs 11:1. It says, a false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. So everything has to be balanced up, man. The Lord deals with perfect balance. One thing establishes the good of the other in its perspective balance. And we know that Esau, he doesn't judge with balance. His kingdomship is not, or his rulership is not judged in balance. That's what I was trying to say. And that's why the Lord is bringing it down to where it's not going to be healed. It says a false balance is an abomination to the Most High. So Esau will give you the illusion that something's there that's really not there. You can deposit $10,000 into the bank, but then he's using that 10,000 that you put in, 9,000 of it, he's using to loan out, and do services to make more money, putting usury on customers to make even more money through interest rates than the money that you put in to him in the beginning. But you only have like a fraction of what you actually stored with him there. That's kind of like the beginning concept of this whole fractional reserve banking, man, to where what's being reported on the ledger is not was liquid. It's not actually there, and that's how Esau plays, man. He is called cooking the books. But I want to get this real quick. This is Micah 6:10. It says, "Are there yet the treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked, in the scant measure that is abominable?" So we understand that there's treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked. And we know that Proverbs, or Job 9:24, rather, it says the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. And we know that the wicked collectively as a nation of people are you red Hebrew Edomites, Esau, Edom, according to the Bible. And they've reaped all the treasures that they do have by wickedness, man. That's why the scripture says in Habakkuk 2:12, "Woe to him that buildeth a town by blood and established a city by iniquity." Everything that these Edomites have established, all the so-called treasures that they've established, have been at the expense of others, man. Whether through rape, robbery, murder, deceit. It says, "In the house of the wicked, in the scant measure that is abominable." So I just read in Proverbs 11 that a false balance is an abomination to the Most High. And it says right here, "in the scant measure that is abominable." So it's talking about measurements, but I want to look up that word scant. In the Hebrew. It says, Razawan, Strong's H7332. Razawan, or Razawana. Let's see. It says thinness, leanness, scant, leanness. Let me see. We got something on the lexicon. Less than it ought to be. Woo-hoo. That's what the lexicon says for scant measure, less than it ought to be. So that's how Esau weighs up. It's everything that he provides is less than it ought to be. Like we always go into the example, even with something like getting a bag of potato chips, you have this big bag, but probably only about 15% of the bag has product chips in it. And the rest of the bag is just complete air, So that's the scant measure that is an abominable. Something that's ought to be there that's not there. And that's gonna be that's gonna mark the collapse of this place, man. Just going back to that dumbass stimulus package that won't heal Babylon, because it's basically giving the people an illusion of something being there, and it's not there, which all really goes back to sorcery and witchcraft, man. Esau is pretty much mesmerizing the people through the media and through the fear campaign, and man, it's very interesting times that we in, brothers. But the elect, they can see keenly what's going on. The scripture says the elect would not be ignorant of the devices of the wicked. I'm loosely paraphrasing in Corinthians. But I'm going to continue on to verse 11. It says, this is Micah 6:11. It says, "Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances and with the bag of deceitful weights?" So the Lord is asking a question through Micah the prophet. It says, "Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances?" So those are wicked balances, saying something that's there when it's not there, coming with a scant measure, with a wicked balance, a false balance. It says, "Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances and with the bag of deceitful weights?" And that's Esau's whole system, man, just bags of deceitful weights, including the dollar, which is constantly being devalued because they're printing more and more and more of it. They're telling you something that has X amount of value when in all actuality, it has negative value. It's just an illusion of something that's not really there. And that's what America, the whole ideal of America is just a big illusion. The American dream, henceforth, which the American dream was really supposed to be something to really just pawn off on the so-called middle class of this nation, which right now, ironically, the middle class is being just completely just wiped out to where you're only going to have the elite upper class, and then just everybody else is just going to be completely poor and destitute, you know. But that's why the Lord, like it talks about in Matthew the 24th chapter, he had to shorten the days for the sake of the elect, you know, because if Esau was left to rule according to these wicked balances in this unrighteous standard in the earth, everybody would just be completely bugged out and just killing off each other. But all points being made, this stimulus package, man, which a lot of you niggas and just people in general, man, they're just salivating over. But the government, they really haven't laid out any details of how to administer these funds from this stimulus package. So it's going to be interesting how this all plays out, and just how even if things go back to so-called normal, the new normal, like from this point forward, everyone's going to have to adapt to a whole new culture out here, you know. So it's beautiful at this appointed time. You know, the Lord's making moves, and a lot of people that scoffed and mocked against the word of the Heavenly Father and his messengers, they're really having to consider their ways and consider the truth. You know, the Lord is basically putting the truth to where it's not going to be, you're not going to be able to resist, you know. But the power and the magnitude of the word, you know, amongst these people in this world, they thought it was insignificant, but they're really seeing through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua that this word is way more weightier than anything that they would consider valuable in this world. So for brothers, we just got to hold fast to the faithful word, continue to build each other up in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and just pray for more faith, pray for more strength. You know, just put yourself in the spiritual mind more so than just giving in to things that you want to enjoy within this flesh. And it's easier said than done. But as the Most High is turning up the gears, brothers, within our perspective, lot in spirit, we're going to have to recharge and tool up and go from glory to glory in the spirit as well, just to be able to be in the best position to endure into the end. So with all being said, man, you know, it's a beautiful time. We just got to watch out for Esau's snares. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Vadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, peace and blessings to the elect.